Heyo, what is going on? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and in this video we're showing you guys how to make the Amare Stoudemire build in NBA 2K21 in the demo. I actually kind of think this is a pretty good build. When I went into it, I was a little bit hesitant. Maybe it wasn't going to be too good because, you know, it's hard to get exactly like a player plays, but I think this one is pretty fire, and it was recommended to me by my boy Damon. I have a community post right now on the channel where you guys can go over. I'm trying to do a lot of, you know, real life actual player builds in here, so if there's somebody that you guys want to see, let me know, and I'm going to try to get them for you guys. I think it's going to be a fun little series. Now, we have two ways to make this Amare Stoudemire build, the first being a center and the second being a power forward. And I will say, I think my preferred way is to make it as a center, but both are nearly identical. So I'm going to show you guys the center one first. So when it comes to our center, the skill breakdown, there's a few that I was considering. The purely shooting and finishing, you know, 50-50 split right there was one that I was looking at a little bit. Maybe a little bit of the playmaking finishing. It was a few that definitely looked like they could be pretty decent, but I ended up going with the majority finishing with like a little bit less shooting, I guess we'll call it that one right there, and then going with the first physical profile, just because I don't want to knock the speed any more than it has to be on this Amare Stoudemire. It's a really good build once you do it, but we don't want to get that speed knocked down more than we have to. So when it comes to our attributes, we're going to max out our close shot up to an 88. Obviously, when it comes to the driving, layup, and post hook, we're going to max these out, but I'm actually going to drop them down to our post hook being an 85 and our driving layup to be a 60. Now, I think that actually does knock down our badges by 2, which I know hurts, but we still get 24, which is perfectly fine to me. I'm pretty sure that's 6 Hall of Fame badges, so really not too worried about it. Then when it comes to our shooting, we're going to go our mid-range, our three-point shot, free throw, and post fade up. Again, the post fade I'm going to knock down to an 85, and my free throw I brought down to a 70. Now, Amare Stoudemire was an okay free throw shooter, but wasn't too great, which is why I knocked that one down again. We're missing out on some shooting badges, but we're going to be able to take all of these and throw them into our defensive / rebounding. So the thing that I did was we maxed out interior, maxed out block, maxed out offensive and defensive rebounding, and then these last 8 that we had here, went ahead and threw them into like lateral quickness. I wanted to try to find a way to make, you know, Amare be able to have, you know, 3 playmaking badges that would have been, you know, really clutch. You know, maybe you can drop down some of your defensive rebounding and, you know, move it in to post moves or interior and try to knock those down so you get to 3. But it knocked down a lot of our defensive badges, so it just wasn't something that I really felt like was too worth it. But if you want to make your playmaking just a little bit higher, that could be fine. I just moved up lateral quickness because moving laterally is a little bit quicker. When it comes to this, I kind of went with defined. Now Amare Stoudemire is looking a little burly. He's not exactly the skinniest of guys anymore, but went with defined, and then we're going to knock the height down to 6'10". I just went off Basketball Reference. It said Amare Stoudemire was 6'10", so we went down to there, and it gives us a nice boost to our speed of a 65. And then Amare Stoudemire also is 245, so we're going to move his weight up to that to keep it a little bit more realistic. And then the wingspan, I moved this all the way up because you guys can see when we move our wingspan all the way up, we get a huge boost in our block, offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding. All of those go up to a 79, a 71, and a 78 respectively, which is massive. We get some negatives in our ball handle and our shooting, which is fine. But the post hook up to an 87. Our standing dunk is up to a 95, which is huge. A 75 driving dunk and a 90 in our close shot. Then when it comes to our wingspan, we're gonna pick, you know, that obviously and go to our takeover and pick the post score takeover. Absolutely insane build, but I do want to go back and show you guys the power forward way of making this one as well. So we're gonna go over to power forward obviously and continue pick the exact same pie chart that we picked in the first one as a center, and you can see we get a bit of a faster speed, which is pretty nice. And then basically following suit, our close shot, driving layup, driving dunk, standing dunk, and post hook, we're gonna move up a good bit. And then when it comes to our 3-point mid-range, free throw, and post fade, again we are moving those up because, you know, we got to at least have a little bit of shooting. Amare could still hit it at least a little bit. And then interior defense is going up, our block is going up, offensive and defensive rebounding are both going up as well, and those last few are going in to Lateral Quickness. Now, I'm pretty sure I knocked the free throw again on Amare down to about a 70. It hurts us a little bit. I think we're down quite a few Hall of Fame badges. So if you want to leave it up to like a 75, I think that might be a bit of a smarter option. And then we can move our Lateral Quickness up just a little bit, so that's at least a 50. Then we can go pick our defined. Obviously, move the height up 1 to go to our 6'10 height, move our weight up to 245, and then the wingspan can max up to 92 as well, because again, we have that massive boost in block, offensive rebounding, and defensive rebounding are slight negatives, but the standing dunk, post hook, driving dunk, and our close shot all go up massively. And again, we want to pick our post scorer takeover right there, which is gorgeous. And you can see we have built a finisher, which I think is a pretty good way to describe Amare Stoudemire, because we can slash the basket really well, still have a pretty decent bit of defense, and we got some nice shooting ability too. John Collins, Elton Brandon, Jaren Jackson Jr. are the similarities apparently to this build. And we continue into the badges, which I always say are pretty much the most important thing. Again, when it comes to testing your potential, you could go to 95, but because we don't know how the system's working, like if you max out all your attributes at 95 and then you keep going, just go with 99 and see what you can do there. And now is the time to pick what we're doing. You see we get half shooting and finishing badges here, which are going to be pretty clutch if I do say so myself. Now, certain things that I feel like you definitely got to give Amare Stoudemire is for sure, we need some sort of contact finisher. We need some sort of pro touch. I feel like that is huge. Pick and roller you could definitely throw on because it's obviously a big part of his game. But to me, I just didn't feel like it was too important to him. So we are also going to put down back down punisher. We're going to throw that one on Hall of Fame. Lob City finisher on gold. We're also going to give ourselves Hall of Fame at drop stepper. Obviously going to be super overpowered, and then we can also put in putback boss because obviously Amare Stoudemire is going to be snagging those boards and putting it back up. And then we'll also go fancy forward on gold to give us a nice, all around feel. That way we can get a bunch of badges, but only have a few Hall of Fame just to help us out a little bit. And then when it comes here to some of these, we're going to throw on pick and popper. Obviously we did put on pick and roller, but maybe pick and popper will give us a decent little boost. We'll throw on our deep fades as well. Hopefully we can get a nice little catch and shoot there to help us out a little bit. Now, I probably want to put on range extender or hot zone 100 to make this a Amare Stoudemire build. They just don't make too much sense. But for the senses of 2K, we are going to make them because obviously you probably are going to want range extender, hot zone 100, and a green machine on your build to help them shoot significantly better. They're just kind of like a trio that helps you shoot significantly better, so we're going to throw them on. But if you want to make this a little bit more realistic to Amare Stoudemire, you can probably drop green machine and range extender down both to bronze, probably range extender not on at all, and then we can maybe put on corner specialist and difficult shots as well. But I'm just going to go with the more 2K version of Amare Stoudemire. Then when it comes to our playmaking badge, there's really not anything too huge. Now again, in certain changes, you could knock down maybe some more of the defense, make it not as good, and then throw on post big technician and quick first step both on gold. Those are things that I definitely recommend, but I'm just going to put post big technician on bronze. And then when it comes to our defense, we're going to give ourselves box and brick wall both on gold there with a little bit of intimidator. Amare Stoudemire wasn't the greatest of defenders. He definitely was not too bad, but he for sure was not too great. So again, if you were going to make some slight changes, probably could knock down to probably 6 of these badges, so that way maybe we can get silver box, silver brick wall, and silver intimidator. And then with whatever upgrades that you are able to get, you could throw them into playmaking and hope to get a little bit higher on post pick technician, because I feel like that is a massive badge on Amare Stoudemire. But I still think this is an absolutely insane build. This is one I think a lot of you guys should go ahead and try out, at least see what's going on, and you can obviously pick whatever jump shot you feel like using, because we don't have Amare for the beginning and stops, sadly. So there it is. This is my Amare Stoudemire build. Remember, comment down below other ones that you guys want to see from me. I'm gonna try to get a bunch of these build videos out over the course of the demo being out. Gonna try to make sure I maybe even find some rare builds. We'll have to see. It's gonna be a fun one. Like if you guys did enjoy it, subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 7.1K. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see y'all in the next video.